John Sloan speaking to Scott Malone, who will take part in the four-man Cage Warriors Bantamweight tournament on September 6th at Cage Warriors Unplugged. Scott, I want to start by your reflections on the Jack Shore contest and the kind of emotions that came with that. Because you came out on social media afterwards and said you kind of experienced everything from happiness initially to frustration to anger. Having watched that fight back a couple of times, what are your thoughts on that and what kind of emotions did that loss provoke?
I think after it, I felt really down. I think I went in with there, put too much pressure on myself. I was expected to go in there and get signed from UFC, so when it didn't happen, I didn't really have another door to go through. But I accept the loss. You know what I mean? I accept the loss. Jack's a good fighter. I made one mistake and he capitalised on that mistake. But yeah, I was pretty down, a pretty dark place, because I think I was coming off the loss. Working every day was just too much. The jobs and stuff I was on, because I'm on price work, a lot of the jobs weren't going to be ready. So I was losing out on money every day, and I was just going in and I wasn't getting to train and stuff like that. So at the end of the day it was just brutal. So I ended up quitting my job and now I'm training full time.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about that. You know, you were a full-time scaffolder during the camp for the Jack Shore fight. In hindsight, did you wish you'd made this change earlier? And how hard financially has that been to transition? Obviously, you're a man with family and kids. Yeah. You fight for Cage Warriors, and you've said yourself previously that the pay isn't particularly generous. How hard has it been, and what kind of forced you to inspire John to make that decision?
Kind of when I lost was when I decided to make a decision. Like it just says, I was in a pretty dark place. I was hating going to work every day. I'm doing a couple of PTs and that now and again, but nothing to be financially stable at the minute. I would obviously like to get more clients in. So if you need a wee PT, then just give me a shout. But yeah, obviously the financial side of things is a lot harder. But mentally, I'm in a much better place. Just so much happier. Sometimes I have some PTs at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I don't actually mind getting up and going and giving somebody a PT at 6 o'clock in the morning. But if I was to get up and go scaffolding at that time, it's still a different ball game. You know, you're going outside in the cold, lifting up heavy metal poles. But just mentally, 100 times better. Financially, 100 times worse. But yeah, it's one of these things that is going to pay off in the long run, I think.
I want to talk a little bit about what you've already mentioned. You said that you kind of thought you were going to beat Jack and get signed by the UFC, and if you look back at all the interviews, the UFC was something, from BBC News to the interview with me, the UFC was something that you consistently mentioned. Yeah. I don't want to say, did you overlook Jack, because I know that you knew how good Jack was coming into that fight, but did you feel that your vision wasn't fully on him and it was more in the future and going full time and getting signed by a bigger organisation?
Yeah, you'd probably say so, yeah. Definitely. I did never look past Jack. I knew how good Jack was. I was just so confident in myself that I was going to just beat him, and that was going to be it. I was going to get signed from the UFC, and I think, like I said before, I put a wee bit of too much pressure on myself, and I never really gave myself another alley to go down. That was it. That was either that or nothing. But when it never obviously got the win, I think that's what hit so hard. I need to realise that I need to go back down the ladder to then work my way back up. So yeah, things are looking a lot better. For training wise, it's been one of the best camps. I'm feeling 100 times fitter than normal. Even my numbers at the start of camp, all my numbers I've been working with enhanced sport performance, and I've been doing conditioning stuff with him and heart rate monitors and all the stuff. And honestly, the start of camp is probably where I was maybe near the end of camp before, just because rest. I'm getting so much more rest nowadays, so if I come in and train in the morning, I could then go home and chill out, sometimes heavy nap. Depends if the kids let me, but yeah, just in general, it's more rest. I'm getting better, more training, but more rest in between as well, so I'm feeling 100 times better.
When Jack was signed by the UFC, there was a lot of talk on social media about you and Ekindale facing for the belt. Obviously, the last two people to be beaten by Jack, and I think you definitely put up more of a fight against Jack than Mike did himself. There was also murmurings about a tournament. What do you think about the whole tournament thing? Obviously, it's something that Cage Warriors haven't done in a long time. It's quite rare to happen in the European domestic scene. Was it ever something you thought about it, and what was your kind of thoughts when the proposition came to you?
It was actually me that put it out to them.
Right.
I actually says how about a tournament for the belt. Obviously I'm coming off a loss. I wouldn't expect to just jump back into a title shot again. Obviously kind of am, but
Yeah.
I've still got to beat another person before I even get to that title shot, so it's technically another fight, and it's in one night, so it's good. But yeah, I sort of put it out to them, and then they eventually came back, and then it was like there wasn't the 4 people, there was only 3 people. They gave me a couple of names, and I was like, I don't care who's in it, I'm going to fight either way. I expected it to be me, Bulland, Miguel Candeo, and probably Josh Reed was what I was going to say before. But then I've got just a couple of other people obviously that stepped in. These fighters. One of the fighters actually, Marco, that's fighting Josh Reed. I trained with him over in Team Alpha Male.
Right.
I actually shared the room with him and stuff. So if we go and fight together, it's going to be a bit weird. I gave him a message just to say like good luck and stuff as well. And he's like, right, once it's over, we'll get a pint. You know what I mean? So it'll be good. It'll be different fighting if I go through and he goes through. It'll be different fighting someone that I know and I'm quite friends with. You know what I mean? So, but it's a sport at the end of the day to both of us, and we're both going for the same goal. So we've sparred before, so why not?
You said previously that your mental strength is in a way what sets you apart. You know, no one works harder than you. No one can grind out fights like you. Do you think a tournament, a tournament kind of format suits you? Because it's not just physically tiring; it's emotionally tiring as well. You know, having to go through the 1-2 round fight and then the second 3 round fight. Do you think that that's something that you're going to thrive in?
Yeah, definitely. The first 2 round fight. If the last title fight was 2 rounds, I think I'd probably be sitting with a belt on my shoulder right now. But,
absolutely, yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. So I think it's going to be probably suit me more, to be honest. But like I say, my conditioning has been like just going through the roof just now. I'm literally like doing so much conditioning. I'm not going to let that fail me this time. I feel that probably did fail me a little bit the last time. Obviously the kick caught me in the end of the second round, but you know I've been working really hard on that, so that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, well, you first fight Jack Cartwright in the first round, in the first 2 round fight. What are your thoughts on him as an opponent? Because you know he's a tough guy, undefeated, Cage Warriors debut. I wouldn't say he's fought necessarily anywhere near the level of opposition that you've faced, but at the same time he's won dominantly in every contest that he's been in. Yeah. Probably surprised that he was even in the tournament to you. It was to me anyway. What do you think about him as an opponent, and how much tape have you watched, and what are you expecting from him on the night?
I was actually lined up to fight Jack on Ice FC back in 2017, I think it was maybe. Yeah. But he pulled out of the fight on the Thursday of the fight for whatever reason, I don't know. So back then I had to be looking at him on tape and stuff. He's dangerous. I think he's quite similar style to Josh. He's got good striking. He's got good chokes. He is a dangerous guy. You know, he's very like a tough guy. You know what I mean? I feel like him and Josh are sort of similar in that aspect. But like you say, I don't think he's faced anybody of great level. You know what I mean? To be honest, I've had a look at the guys he's beat. Like a lot of the guys are like 0-1, 3-2 and stuff. So he's not really had anybody with a sort of winning record, and that can make anybody look really good. So it'll be different. I'm not underestimating. I'm never underestimate anyone, but I think it's going to be a big step up for him.
In the other semi-final, Josh Reed's fighting Marko Kovacevic. What are your thoughts on Josh Reed being in the tournament? Obviously, you fought him at Cage Warriors 100. You took him down, caught him in an armbar very, very quickly. Does that fight? Are you still motivated enough to take that fight again, even knowing what you did to him in the first fight?
Yeah, Josh is always going to be a dangerous fight. I'm never going to look past him. I caught him early, so we never really got a chance to really fight. But yeah, he's always going to be a dangerous fighter. He's won how many? Is it 2 or 3 fights since then?
3.
Yeah. So but why not? You know what I mean? He's winning. He's not lost any since me. So I think he definitely deserves to be there. I think a lot of people are looking past Marko though. Yeah. I've sparred with Marko. I've seen Marko train. I've seen him fight, and I think that's going to be a really tough fight for both of them.
Yeah. I think some of the real MMA guys are tipping Marco to be kind of the dark horse in the tournament. Obviously, I think the Cage Warriors European audience, especially in the UK, they just know him as the guy that got knocked out by Nathaniel Wood. But there's a lot more to it than that, as you know.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I've trained with him before, and he works hard. He's strong. He's a very tough guy as well. So I could see that fight going right down to the buzzer. I could probably see that going 3 rounds in the first one, to be honest. They're both really tough guys, and they've both got good cardio and stuff like that. So I think it's probably going to be a war for 3 rounds. That's what I'm guessing anyway. It might go quick, I don't know, but yeah, I think both the guys are quite similar. I'd say Marco's maybe got a bit better wrestling. He's a bit more technical, whereas Josh is like just really tough and he hits hard. You know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting fight.
In the media after the Jack fight, you came out in the podcast, the IMKP podcast particularly, and told everyone what you got paid. You got paid £1,000 to fight Jack in Cardiff, which is ridiculous. I don't know how anyone can look at the promotion for that and the ticket sales and argue any differently. Contractually, where are you at with Cage Warriors, and where do you want to be? I mean, how many fights do you have left should you win the belt? Is the UFC still the end goal? Yeah. Where is your head at with the financial incentives?
So financially it's better this time. Obviously I'm fighting 2 fights, so it should be better. But this is not about the money for me. Before it was kind of like I was kind of moaning about money. Now I'm just thankful. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to get this shot again. I'm grateful because I'm going to be getting that belt. The money, I didn't even care about the money this time. It's just, I'm sort of want to go and prove myself, and prove where I belong to be, rather than worrying about where money wise. You know what I mean? I was kind of worried about money when I was working, and now I'm like, I don't care. I'm happier now that I've not got as much money as when I was working, but now I'm happier. So why should I care about money for fighting when I should just continue to just be happy? But yeah, it's better pay. I've got 2 fights left on my contract. This only counts as 1 fight technically. If I win the belt, I think I've got 3 fights, and I need to fight in the first 3 months, I think it is, if I'm not injured, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I'm hoping. I think Boolin's he's got a fight in October, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably be after that, but I'm going on holiday after the fight. So maybe December, January to possibly defend it or something like that. I don't know. I'm saying that I've already won it, but if all goes smoothly, then yeah.
Yeah, and like you just said, you're a full-time coach now, essentially full-time training. If anyone wants any PTs in the Dundee area of Scotland, how can they get in touch with you?
Instagram, Scotty_boom, Facebook, whatever. Just get in touch. Yeah, I'm happy to do PTs, boxing, MMA, and strength and conditioning. So hit me up.
Yeah, and the last thing, I'm sure you've got a lot of sponsors to thank. Since going full-time. If you can sum up in any way.
Well, I'm going to say I'm just thankful for all my sponsors. You all know who you are. I'm not going to sit and say them all because I probably will forget one. But yeah, I'm really grateful for everybody that helps me out with everything. I get my food, I get all my gear, everything, every single thing that happens with any sponsor, they've all helped me out in some sort of way. So thankful for everything.
Thanks, Scott, mate. Cheers.
Man.